Yo, welcome to Gridiron Chronicles. My name is Sway. I'm the host here, and we have the Valley Venom here. Let's welcome.
Yeah, I'm Dan Russell, head coach.
I'm Jake Etheridge, quarterback number 6.
I'm Diesel. I'm Diesel. We play defensive tackle, fullback. 28 is the number.
Big Will, number 54 and 21. Had to switch out here, offensive line, defensive line.
Jordan Crawford, number 13. A little bit of everything, kicker, linebacker, backup quarterback when needed.
KJ Shaw, number 0, and that shit I played athlete really everywhere, for real.
So the fans is wanting to hear why the switch to the CFL from the Alliance League.
Really, we had been around the Alliance teams for a couple years, so for me as the owner and head coach, I just felt like it was time to make a move to some better competition. We felt like, that's what the CFL gave us with the Outlaws, the Spartans, the Rebels. These teams that historically here in Arizona have a backing and have, had success.
So coming into the Alliance League, coming from the Alliance League to the CFL, how would you feel like the competition is? Like, you think it's different from the coaches to the players, or you feel like it's a different skill level?
I think skill level has a little bit to do with it, but I think the coaching in the CFL is probably the biggest difference. I think, just being around guys like, D. Will and Coach Fish and those types of guys that have just been doing this for so long and game planning against those guys and competing against those types of guys, that's what it's all about.
So coming into the CFL, you guys are, I assume that you guys have like half your roster missing because like you guys have a completely different roster as we can see from the Alliance League to the CFL. Were you guys worried going in?
I wouldn't say worried. I knew we were a little short-handed. Even week 2, it was like, we're a little short-handed coming into this. But I knew that the talent we had, we could compete with anybody. We had to stay healthy though. That was the biggest thing is, and I stayed on these guys about that all year. It's like, do what we can to keep our bodies healthy throughout the season. We didn't pad up a lot in practice towards the end of the season, those types of things, to just keep our bodies ready to roll because we didn't have 45 guys. Our championship game, we went in with 26 guys. You know what I mean? So it makes a difference, but there was no panic within us at all. Coaching staff, players, I didn't feel any panic within us. I think that we felt ready going into the season with the guys we had.
So in every league, I would say that everybody sees you guys as the underdogs. No matter what league you guys are in, they see you guys as the underdogs. Do you guys take that to heart? Is that like a chip on you guys' shoulders? It can come from anybody?
Yeah, I'll let you guys answer that.
So yeah, we take that to heart. But also it's understood that being a new guy on the block, like nobody's gonna like you off the bat. You gotta prove yourself. And every single season, we've been the new guy on the block every week. So we hold that title now. It's probably gonna be the first year that we aren't the newest guys on the block. So we'll see where that goes.
Would you guys feel like you're top contenders now in that league?
For sure.
We've always felt that way. Yeah. We've always felt that way. We just had to prove it.
So being top contenders in this league, there's going to be expectations for you guys, and there's going to be new players trying to join you guys' team, runner-ups or not, what is the expectation you guys have when they join the team?
That they buy in 100% into the family. This is a family over here, you know what I mean? And we don't care where you've been. Once you join us, it's ball game, you know what I mean? We hunting for that ring, and it's just got to be understood all the way around. It's not about one person in particular, you know what I mean? We go to war for each other.
What are your guys' practices like in the beginning of the season? Are they more physical?
Aggressive as fuck.
Yeah. Everybody like super thirsty, just trying to get after it. Just like, man, I want to play football. So we fly around a lot. Like that's something that he preaches and has been preaching for 3 years. Like I don't care what you do, fly around, do it fast. If you make a mistake, make it fast. Don't don't hesitate. Whatever you do, full speed at all times. So that's kind of how we operate.
There's definitely no favoritism on our team, so practice is very competitive. Everybody's fighting for that starting spot, you know what I mean? And it's very important to bring you 100% in every practice.
So you guys are not very big people because I was watching film on you guys compared to like other teams. but you guys are really physical. How do you guys like? Is it like a pep talk like before the game, or is it just
We just got
yeah? You got that dog.
We just all
We've just got a bunch of character dudes that are absolute dogs. They just want to brawl. No fear. These guys have no fear. You know what I mean? They walk out there. Doesn't care. They don't care how big these guys are, how fast they are. Doesn't matter to them. And that's the biggest thing. Like, I can preach and preach all I want, but at the end of the day, it falls back on these guys and how bad they want it, and they prove year in and year out, how competitive and how good they really are as players.
So how did the Venom come to be? Like, what made you just like think of the name Venom and let's go ahead and start this team?
Yeah. So I originally got connected with a guy named Dom, who I knew through Nigel, or Nigel knew. I knew Nigel for years and years and years. He was trying to start a team off of a team that was already put together called the Rampage. He was trying to bring players from them over to a new team. He had his little business plan, I had mine. We decided to go with the Valley Venom. And then these guys all came over from the Rampage to play for me, and we've just grown it from there. Obviously, Dom's no longer with us, but so I've kind of taken the head on that. But we have new owners. We've got Diesel's an owner now with us. Kevin Stafford's an owner with us. Shaquille Mosley's an owner with us. So we've all, again, we're a family, so we've all just kind of come together as a family to keep this thing going, and we're growing more and more every year. So, and that's been the goal. It's been a 5-year plan from the beginning, and we're heading into year 4. So, and I feel like we're there now, right? We're comfortable. We feel like, we're not gonna have issues going into the season. We're ready to rock.
Yes, sir. And could we see some of them jerseys you guys wear? Will these be the jerseys you guys wear this year?
Yep. So we'll have the same jerseys. These are our game jerseys. They're all stitched. You know what I mean? These are more so our fan jerseys aren't stitched, but we've got the fan jerseys, the game jerseys. All the fans can get their players' names on the back of the jerseys, those types of things. So. Again, we're just trying to grow the brand, man, and honestly, we feel like we're the best brand in the state of Arizona when it comes to minor league football.
So, let's go back to this Alliance League and CFL conversation. Do you feel like the environment there is different?
For me personally, I'll let these guys speak on it as well. For me personally, the one thing I noticed that it was just a little more professional. In every sense of the word, like everything about the Cactus Football League this year was professional. Everything was ran professionally. The referee crews were excellent to work with. We were able to have meetings every Wednesday with the referees, and we actually got to go sit down with them, talk to them about certain calls, why they called it, why they didn't call it. We're talking about guys like Merle Robinson, who is an NFL referee, who is the head referee of the Cactus Football League. These are huge things. Because the ultimate goal is to get these players to the next level. And when you have guys that are at the next level, working with them at this level, I mean, it's outstanding stuff. It really is. And I've said it all year, like, it's night and day. It's night and day from the Alliance and the DFL. For me personally, I'll let these guys speak on that as well.
No, it's just like product-wise, like consistency-wise, like for example, just knowing that you have a game, you don't have to worry about cancellations, you don't have to worry about, we only playing 6 games instead of 9, I paid for 9. Like, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. It's like you show up, you check in at the desk, the security is airtight, you get the locker room to yourself, to your team, you got the expectations laid out in advance, hey, clean up behind yourself, we're gonna come out in this order, we're gonna be organized, 0 tolerance. Like, it just kind of was, like you said, more professional, and we carried ourselves that way because we knew that the expectation was already set in front of us. So.
I never played in the DFL or the Alliance League, but I don't see how it could get much better than the Cactus League. It is very professional, so it's cool.
So we're gonna go take a couple steps back here. So that year in the DFL, speaking of that,
Here we go.
Dark ages.
do you guys think if you guys weren't kicked out the league, you would have won the championship?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It would have been the Vengeance and Venom again, and I think after our first game together, I think that second game would have been insane. That year, right? Because year 2, we both go over to the Alliance, and you guys come out and kick our ass. We're a completely different team. We don't have a quarterback. You know, Jordan's hurt. You know, we're a completely different team at that point. You guys kicked our ass. That year 1 team though, we were hungry, man. We were pissed that we didn't have an opportunity to play you guys again, coaches and players included. You know what I mean? We were hungry to beat you guys because we really felt like you guys were the only competition for us in that league. You know, we felt like, you know, we weren't worried about the Soul Patrol or the Bears or, you know, we went down to Tucson and beat them boys 46-6 that year. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't worried about them. We wanted to see you guys again. But we also felt like, you know, like you said earlier, you know, there's some politics involved in everything, and we kind of felt like that league didn't want to see the Venom there in their first year, right? And we all know how the Bears are kind of, you know, the favorite over there and kind of get moved into championship games like they did this year.
Magically.
But, you know, we felt those politics that year and kind of felt like there was some, you know, silver line behind that, so.
Okay, that's very understandable. And like, if you can rank these leagues from 1 through 3, like top 1, 2, and 3 leagues, like what would you be?
CFL, Alliance, DFL.
Yeah. Just make it. I just have to make sure, you know, we got to get that.
And I think the Alliance can grow. I really do, and I've got all the respect in the world for Nigel and Renee for what they do. But you know, I just think I thought it was the best move for us to do what we did, and it turned out to be that way.
Do you guys think that one day we gonna have a super league with every team in every league just go? You think it will happen? And if it would happen, how would you guys think you guys would come out of that?
I don't really think that would be necessary. I think the necessary thing is to get the best teams from each league together and make a league. You know, because I'm sorry, man, there's teams in the DFL that they're not going to compete with the top teams in any other league. So, and I've said it all year. I think after playing in all 3 leagues that even the top tier teams in the Alliance come to the CFL, it's not going to be as easy for them. Because from a coach's standpoint, I had a much better team this year than I've ever had in these leagues. And I had to coach my ass off against these guys, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's disciplined football over here. The Outlaws are a disciplined football team. They're a well-coached football team. The Canes are a really well-coached football team. You know what I mean? Even the Spartans are really well-coached football team. You got a game plan for these football teams. It's not just, I mean, you know, as the Vengeance, you guys know you're going to walk out there and you're going to beat this team, beat that team. Okay, the Roll Tide might be a tough test. You know, the Reapers, when they were there, might be a test. You know what I mean? But you knew that every other team in that league you were going to run through. You didn't even have to game plan for them. You don't get that luxury in the CFL. You have to game plan for every single team over there. The Phantoms and Thunder included. I think the Phantoms and Thunder go to any other league, they compete. They compete at a high level.
So, do you think that, all right, so you said CFL, you know, top tier, everything about that. So, do you guys think that from the Vengeance, can they go up there like with like the CFL and compete? You feel like they could compete?
You know, I think they should. It's gonna be a tougher test, but I absolutely think they can go over there and compete. They're a well-coached football team.
I felt like they were doing themselves a disservice not staying in that league with that competition. Why wouldn't you want better competition? You know what I mean? We're hungry. We want to prove that we're the best, so we're gonna go where their best is.
I get it. I get it last year because I like Tashawn and Jose a lot, man. They're great people, and I get it. Last year, you won 2 championships in a row. You're trying to win your 3rd in a row over there. You know, a three-peat. You know, that's special. I don't really get it this year. Why? You've proven everything you need to prove over there. Why not come to the CFL and prove against these football teams that you can compete at a high level? You know what I mean? So, and I get why the Lopes are going, you know, not going to the CFL. It's, you know, a first-year team, those types of things. I would have been crazy, looking back, I would have been crazy as an owner to put my first-year team into the CFL.
We had heart.
Yeah, like you guys were undersized that year too, but you guys played different.
We played different year 1.
Like, we didn't know we wasn't supposed to win games. Like, everybody's like, oh, they're gonna lose. They're gonna be team. Same thing with like the CFL. Like,
We came out.
made that transition. Like, oh, we gonna 50 ball every game. No.
They said that you guys are gonna be the new Titans. You guys are gonna be last. You guys are gonna be trash, garbage,
We're supposed to go 0-11.
Yeah, 0-11. They said that the worst team was gonna beat you guys. Was that fuel to the fire?
But yeah, they call this water. They call this water snake.
Water snake.
and right from there, it was
That's when they had us.
right from that moment, it was like, you know, we all got together and we're like, nah, we're not the water snakes anymore. So yeah.
So you have an MVP quarterback right here.
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
New Mexico. We kind of, you know, he reached out to me and just said that he was looking for a team here in Arizona to play for. I invited him out to one of our OTAs, and he came out, and I instantly just knew that he was a special quarterback, and that I wanted him to be a part of, you know, what we were trying to build. And luckily enough, he bought into the system, bought into everything I was preaching, and we took off. He took off, you know, and the venom took off too. I mean, you know, to get to a championship game is special this year. Obviously, we wanted to close the door and get it done, but you know, having Jake was special, and I think these guys can attest to that too, as offensive and defensive players. It was just nice to have a guy that every time that he went out on the field, you thought you were going to score.
I like that.
You know, and there was times where, you know, we went out offensively, and you know, we'd have like a little lull, you know, a little 3-drive lull, and it was surprising, and that's always a good feeling when you're like, wow, we went 3 drives without scoring. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So we just knew that every time our offense hit the field this year, that we had the ability to score any play that we could score.
Who had the most heart on your team?
Oh man, that's tough.
Well,
We'll go around, but for me,
Top 5.
the whole squad has a ton of heart. But when we're talking about just savage football players who have a nonstop motor and heart, for me, Troy Woodrow's got to be. Yeah, Troy's got to be talked about. He's just one of those guys that he's just a constant motor, man. And it was his first year with us this year, and he was just another addition that it was just special to have him around this year, man.
So you win MVP. Let's go to the quarterback here. Did you feel like you're still doubted even though you won MVP this year?
I wouldn't say doubted. I think a lot of the opposing teams game plan for me and respected me. But like I said, at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done. So there's no, you know, the MVP is cool and all, but that wasn't really my goal. Like, I wanted to win the championship. So it's just adding more fuel to the fire for next year. Try and do it again, but win it this time. So.
Do you guys have a set goal for next year? Like, I know going to the championship, like, you know, but there's always like steps in front of that. Like, would you guys say that you guys have a set goal for next year?
For me, it's to build an offensive line. For me, that's my goal leading into next year, is to build a consistent offensive line. One thing we struggled with this year, and I think that if we do that, it just makes us that much more dangerous.
Did you guys keep the same receiving core for this year, like last year, this year?
Well, it'll look a little different, but we've got some really good guys coming in, and you know, every year has looked different, so we expect that every year, right? We've got a different team every year, but our core is always going to be there, you know, until they're not, and it'll look different, but it's going to be just as talented this year as it was last year.
So you guys played an out-of-state team.
We did.
So what made you guys, like, you know, want to actually play them, or did they contact you?
So they contacted us, but for me, it's like, I want to give these guys as many opportunities as I possibly can to get 1, film, 2, exposure, and 3, just looks from anywhere they possibly can. So taking them to a place like Utah, taking them to a place like California, taking them to a place like Vegas, where they're getting different looks than they've ever got before. Who knows who's in the stands, right? I mean, there could be guys from the University of Utah, Utah State, in these stands. We don't know who's going to be there. We don't know who's going to be watching the streams. So any chance or opportunity I get to give these guys a look, that's what I want to do. We can go up there, win, lose. It doesn't really matter at that point. It doesn't affect us as a football team at that point. It's an exhibition game. But are my guys still getting looks, and are they getting good looks? That's what's most important to me.
So you guys went out there and you traveled. I would say that which I've been hearing talk, that if you guys were to become a travel team, you guys would be crazy, because you would be able to get, actually, like, if you build it up, you will get like more recruits, more players, you know, more talent and all that. And these people that you guys went out there and played, they stacked up. They they had their team. They play against the Roadrunners and all that, so they're gonna have to do all that.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I mean, we did travel a little light, right? We went up there. I think it was 24 guys. We traveled light. Jordan was playing quarterback, got hurt second snap of the game. Still dealing with the injury. You know what I mean? It's like I learned lessons on that trip as well, right? It's you can't go up there with one quarterback. You can't go up there with 24 guys because one, it's higher altitude. Two, injuries happen in this game. And next thing you know, after halftime, I've got 16 guys left. You know what I mean? It's just, you learn lessons, man. But at the same time, like, I don't think any of us should take it back. It was, it was a great trip to Utah with our team, with our brothers. We all got to spend time together. We all got to play ball, get looks, get film, those types of things. So I don't think any of us regret doing it.
Okay, yeah, that's very understandable. So, do you have a message to send out? Like, wait, before we get to the message, if a team you could play week 1, it could be any team. Who is it going to be? Who do you want week 1?
Who do you guys want?
Rematch championship.
Don't matter.
I want the Laws.
I need that rematch.
I want the Outlaws. I'm not gonna lie.
I need that rematch though.
So let's all agree, Canes or Outlaws? Which one?
For me, it'll be Fans.
Yeah,
Canes. You want that rematch?
Gotta start getting my lick back on.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think that both times we played the Canes 3 times this year. We opened our season against them. We just didn't show up. Then we beat them week 3, and then we played them in the title game, and we just didn't really show up. So both times we lost to them, we really beat ourselves. So it's like I'd really like to just get another shot at them.
How do you guys feel about your coach / owner? Like, what's that first thing that come on your mind when you think about Mr. Dane?
We've been together for me personally, and basically everybody in this back row. We've been together for 3, almost 4 years now. Like, our kids know each other. We have barbecues together. This family over here, that's what we really harp on, and that's why our guys buy in. That's why we usually in one season can go out with 25 to 30 guys and make it to the championship. I mean, not too many people can say they did that, but we trust each other, and we believe in each other, and we believe in him just like he believes in us. So I feel like that's.
Yeah, and for me, joining the Cactus League, I kind of hit up all the owners, and they all responded back and went to a couple different tryouts. But when I went to that first venom practice, totally different atmosphere. It was family right away. They brought me in, treated me like one of their own, and made my decision right there. And Dane was a big part of it. He believed in me, and I believed in him. And we made an agreement that we were going to buy in with each other and go win a championship. So he's a great guy, great coach. Wouldn't want to play for anyone else. So.
Well, it sounds like a great guy to me. I surely wouldn't want to play with him for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate y'all for coming, man. Like I really do. Like it means a lot, honestly. And for my show, like I feel like you guys are like, you're definitely gonna boost the views and everything like that. So for sure, I really appreciate it.
And that's the biggest thing, bro. It's like we talk about we're a family, but at the end of the day, I think the ultimate goal is for everybody in Arizona football to be that family, right? Let's grow each other, man, as organizations, as brothers, and that happens when we put the greed away and we put the egos away and realize that Arizona football really could be so much bigger than it is right now. There's divide within these 3 leagues, and at the end of the day, there doesn't need to be a divide between these 3 leagues. We all need to be coming together and saying, hey, look, there's 4 great teams here, there's 4 great teams here. Let's put those teams together and have a tournament at the end of the year. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, we need to get to that. So that's how I feel about it, and I've got love and respect for owners of each league, except the DFL. But at the end of the day, we need to figure out how to put that together. You know what I mean? We really do, man, because that's when it's really going to become entertainment, and it's really going to boost the chances for these guys to get to that next level, because people are going to lock into what Arizona football is doing.
Sounds like a lot of great content and waiting, just waiting.
That's it, bro.
It's gonna be built up.
That's it.
I really appreciate y'all for coming. I thank y'all. And y'all, do y'all have any chant? Yeah, what y'all be saying in the huddles, man? What's going on? Like, what y'all say? What y'all say? It's just, y'all break it out with just venom?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody saw it already. You might as well say it now. Y'all might as well say it now. I know it's you, right? You be doing it. Break it out. Come on, break us out.
Let's give us a venom on 2 family on 6.
Venom on 3 family on 6. You know what I'm saying?
Break us out.
Venom on 3 family on 6.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6.